Hey everyone, my name is Naira and welcome to Naira's Fancy Things, a mod that I've been creating with the sole intention of putting more creative and colorful blocks into Minecraft. And while Minecraft does have a lot of blocks already to be creative with, does it have a whole bunch of different colors of regular oak planks? I didn't think so. Does it have paint buckets that are actually called paint cans that are both filled with nothing, filled with milk, and filled with stinky milk, as well as paint that is brown like the color of Puh. Silliness aside, I wanted to make a video going over how to get started in this mod, how to craft everything and whatnot, but then also go over some future plans and some issues I've been having that are related to a horse, yes you, and a cow, also yes you. Right guys? Yeah, looking guilty over there, huh? You and your infinite hair and you and your other issue. So to get started with this mod, you need to craft yourself some paintbrushes and some paint. And to do that is actually fairly simple once you have kind of the basic ingredients you would need for most of anything in the world of Minecraft. And so you need yourself some iron nuggets, you need yourself some sticks, a dye of any color. I've made these for every single color, if that wasn't obvious. But then you also need some oak planks and some shears. Actually, these oak planks are for later, so we'll just leave them on over there. What you want to do is it needs to be daytime for this. That's better. Okay, so we're going to go into the crafting table, and first we're going to make ourselves some brush ferrules, which are the little metal things you see around the bristles on a brush. Speaking of bristles, you're going to need yourself a pair of shears, and you're going to click the horse twice. We will talk about the issue that is related to this later, but for now we'll pretend it doesn't exist. And now you have 2 bits of horsehair, which you will then craft like this to get yourself some ferrules. Like you can see, ferrules. We already made ferrules. Brush bristles. I'm professional, I swear. And when you have your bristles and your ferrules, all you need to do is do this, and you got yourself a dry brush. Oh my gosh. I had such a flow going, and now my flow is gone. Okay, we don't need the shears anymore, and we don't need the ferrules. We don't need the bristles. We don't need this one individual nugget, but we will need the other ones, and we will need this stick. And now that we've taken care of the paintbrush, we need to make a bucket, which is essentially an upside down pair of pants made out of nuggets. No, not chicken nuggets, although I'm confused as to whether that sounds good or not. With our paint can that is empty and full of nothing, we are going to right click the cow. And now we have a milk-filled paint can. This is also kind of related to the cow's issue, which we will, again, pretend is not happening. And from there, you're going to drop the milky paint can into the furnace, which will turn it into this gross kind of yellow stuff, which is still milk, but it's not the kind you'd want to drink. But you might want to put it all over your walls in your house. And there we have it. We have ourselves a prepared paint can. And now to turn it into paint, all you have to do is drop some dye inside of it, stir it up, and there you go. And now we can walk over here to these oak planks, drop it down on the ground because it is a block. Oh, it's actually a gravity sensitive block as well. If I were to pick this up and put it here, it will actually drop. Just a fun little tidbit of information. But with it on the ground, you right click it with your dry paintbrush, and now you have a purple one. And you can just right click oak planks, and now you got wonderful purple oak planks all the way around. And when these blocks drop, they actually drop their purple variant, which will be used for crafting. There is one singular crafting recipe so far, which I will bring you on to that's not how you say it. I will teach you how to do. I'm very good at words. So over at the crafting table, again, we're going to take this stick. We're going to take 2 more iron nuggets and do a diagonal sword. And we got ourselves a Ryoba saw. And what the Ryoba saw is used for is if you were to, say, break a regular block of oak planks, it just drops the oak planks. If you were to break a slab of oak planks, you also just get an oak slab. But if you use the Ryoba saw to cut this block, it does take a little bit longer. I need to work on that. But the oak planks drops 4 2x4s. And if you were to chop the slab up, you get plywood. You get 4 plywood. And now we have everything that we need to start crafting what you're seeing over there. So in a regular crafting table, you want to take your 2x4s and put them on the side like this. Drop yourself a slab right here and put your plywood right across the top, and now you got a workbench. I actually have a workbench set up over here already, which hopefully you didn't see and have everything spoiled. You probably did, but we'll pretend you didn't. So if you go in here and you take your oak planks and you make yourself a set of stairs in this specific orientation, you actually get steps instead of stairs. Now, what's the difference between steps and stairs? Well, one of these is vanilla Minecraft and one of these is mine. And one of them looks a little bit more like a standard set of stairs that would be on a house. Not exactly why I made them, but it is a happy bonus that they look a little bit more naturally like stairs. The main reason I decided to make them is because I find when you're walking up the vanilla stairs, they are quite jerky, even more so when you're running. But on these ones, while there is still a bit of an up and down bouncing motion, they do feel a lot smoother. And so I think they honestly they look a little bit nicer. I could probably make the texture look a little bit less like a stolen texture from that. But the proof of concept is done. On the topic of plywood though, it can actually be placed like a block, as you can see here, and you don't pass through it when you stand on it, so you can actually like make stairs out of it, you can make a roof, you can make a floor or a bridge out of it. I have a lot of plans for the plywood-esque sort of block in here. One thing I would like to do is figure out how to get it to attach to the top as well, so you can decide whether it's a floor and is actually flush with all the other solid blocks, or is a ceiling and is right up against the bottom. But for now, it's mostly a crafting material that could also be placed, which you can use to build if you want to. And I'm sure that you're very curious about this thing over here. And this is the one thing that I didn't set up for, so give me a minute. Okay, so one of the things that I've always wanted to be able to do in Minecraft is to take half slabs and stack them on top of each other, but for some reason in 2025 Minecraft still doesn't have this feature, so I decided that I'm going to implement it, which may be a very difficult thing to do for every single block in the game, because I'm going to have to take into consideration every single combo, which is going to be absolutely wild. So I'm going to start off with the most commonly used ones right now, which in this case these are the 2 easiest slabs that you can get access to by just chopping an oak tree and cooking some stone. And basically all you have to do is you place your oak slab down and then you place your stone slab on top. And hold on a second. did the thing just happen that I think just happened? I think it did. I think I found a bug. Infinite stone slabs. Okay, well, it's still a work in progress, but overall, that's pretty much everything I think that I've put in the mod so far that's actually usable. I mean, technically you could use this, but it could also be exploited for infinite stone slabs, which is really, really bad because stone slabs are like one of the most valuable things in this game. But on the topic of other issues, this cow produces way too much milk, and this horse has too much hair. I know it doesn't look like there's too much hair, but if I were to go over here and grab the shears and just repeatedly click this horse, you could see that very quickly this horse will show that it is a very, very hairy... Did I just get assaulted? Are you harming me for judging you? Oh, I just got mooned. But yeah, in all seriousness, I don't know how to track how many times a specific horse has been right-clicked with the shears. I would like to put a limit of like 4 on it, because with 4 you can actually make a decent number of paintbrushes. The cow, same situation. I have to figure out how to track how many times a specific cow has been milked. I know that it's done with buckets. You can't just, at least I don't think you can just infinitely right-click cows with a bucket. I'm actually an idiot. I forgot to explain one thing about the brushes that's actually fairly important. And that's that the brushes do have durability, but when they run out, they don't actually break. They just revert back to the original dry brush, which means you can either re-dip it back into the paint bucket you used in it initially, or you can switch it to a different color of paint. It's like an actual paintbrush. When the paint on it is dry or it's been washed off, you can just use it again for the same paint or another paint. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make paintbrushes that kind of felt like actual paintbrushes, where you're actually going around and painting your world a little bit. And of course, like I said before, I'm going to add many more blocks as the time goes on. I just wanted to get some of the more basic blocks and other basic tools that are really easy to gain access to, so that you can basically start off with this mod right off the bat and start using it. You don't need to wait until you have a whole bunch of specialty materials, although there will be things that require specialty materials eventually. One of the plans is to try and track down as many of the items in vanilla Minecraft that don't really have much of a use and find a good use for them. One of the next things that I would like to do with this mod is add different planks that can be painted, but doing them slightly different from each other, so there's more of a reason to hunt down the other woods for the sole purpose of painting. For example, if you were to paint regular oak planks white, they would look like this, but if you were to paint the same paint over top of, say, dark oak planks, it might look something more like this, with a slightly different hue to the gray. And that's because the base color underneath your paint will often kind of change the way it appears. I mean, light can do the same thing, but that's why we generally paint with white canvases, because white is generally a very neutral color that does the least amount of influencing of the color of your paint. If you were to take a red paint and paint it over blue, chances are it wouldn't look exactly like the paint in your can or your bottle. And that's because some of the underlying color shows through. And I want to represent that mechanic throughout the process of making this mod, and that means I'm going to have to do a lot of experimenting with exactly what shades I want to add to each wood. But with that, there's nothing left to explain and nothing left to show you. If you would like to try this mod out for yourself, it is built on NeoForge for Minecraft 1.21.1. The CurseForge link is in the description, and so far that is the only place you can actually get it, because I can't seem to search my own mod up on that platform. So if you want it, you'll have to click the link to go get it. It's not an affiliate link or anything. But without further ado, I've been Naira, you've been incredible, and I'm gonna go into the moon. Why are you still here? I'm going into the moon. Here we go. I'm not in creative mode.